Double Sports Talk worldwide with some news from the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed. Now, heavyweights, information. Barry Hearn, right? The father of Eddie Hearn, Anthony Joshua's promoter, Matchroom, right? Boxing. Barry Hearn is saying, hey, listen up. Deontay Wilder is the easiest fight for Anthony Joshua when you're talking about Tyson Fury or Dillian Whyte. Deontay Wilder is the easiest fight. But Dillian Whyte is the hardest fight. Hence, bam. That's what I'm talking about. Just, you guys know I'm a pessimist when it comes to this, circus going on, especially with the Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua negotiations, the whole thing. We know who Anthony Joshua's going to fight and what's going to happen. We know what time it is. Bottom line is this. Then you must feel a little bit silly. This is the easiest fight you take for 50 million. Simple. This is the easiest one. And then all of a sudden get easy after the Tyson Fury fight or after the negotiations failed. If it was so easy, then you wouldn't have fought Povetkin. You would have told the WBA, hold off on that. Don't come in here with that. I don't want to go into it again about the WBA coming in and trying to mandate Povetkin, right? When they should have been mandating Luis Ortiz. They wouldn't even go there. But they mandated Povetkin the last minute and gave him 24 hours. I just talked about it. It took him 3 weeks to sign that. Bottom line is you would have told them, hey, hold up, just like you asked for other favors. Hold up, we're going to fight this easy dude for all this money. This is ridiculous. This is way too much money for me not fighting no easy dude. Matter of fact, you take that money and come back and get your belt if you had to, but that's not what was never on the cards. The WBA was never going to strip, Anthony Joshua because of Alexander Povetkin, right? After suspending Louis the Real King Kong Ortiz and not reinstating him after he was found innocent by the WBC, which was a whole different sanctioning body. But I don't want to go into that too far. But at the end of the day, if Ortiz was not doped and, exonerated, then he should have been the guy that you've been fighting in the first place. But okay, it didn't happen. He had to fight Povetkin. He didn't, but he fought Povetkin instead of the easy dude. Now, my boy Barry Hearn says, well, Tyson Fury is a little bit harder because Tyson Fury can box. Can't punch, but he can box. He was saying Deontay Wilder can punch, can't box, right? But, Dillian Whyte is the one that's the most dangerous between them. Whatever. But that's telling you what I'm telling you. They have to make Dillian Whyte look very dangerous at this particular time. We have to fill up Wembley Stadium. Just because it's a rubber match between the two is not really good enough. He did get rid of Chisora in round 8 or 9, round 11. But is that really good enough to fill up Wembley Stadium and ask people for pay-per-view for that fight? Just because Anthony Joshua fighting. And there's some other people out here that people are starting to get to know, right? Especially when you're talking Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury that's out there. So that's the reason for all this talk and this narrative that Dillian Whyte is all of a sudden, so dangerous, right? Because if he was, he would have fought Ortiz. And believe me, like I said in every video lately, when I'm talking about heavyweights, imagine if you can, Dillian Whyte versus Ortiz, the winner of that fight. Doesn't matter what the scenario is, who won, whoever wins that fight. If it's not a draw, somebody comes out of that fight winning it. Spectacular will be good, but just winning it, right? Beat the other guy, no doubt about it. That guy would have momentum. We wouldn't be having conversations. But like I'm telling you now, Barry Hearn is saying Dillian Whyte is the most dangerous one because that's who the hell they're going to fight on April the 13th. That's why that has to be. Now, Dillian Whyte even came up saying lately that, he hasn't heard anything from the Hearns, from Matchroom. He's a member, but he ain't heard nothing regarding that fight with Anthony Joshua on the 13th. He hasn't heard nothing till now. I think he has, but okay, he said he hasn't. He says rumor has it that they're going to probably go to New York and fight Jarrell Miller. Don't think so. Has to be all these things on the outside to make it seem like, well, Dillian Whyte is somebody we're probably avoiding right now all of a sudden. Right? We're avoiding, just like Dillian Whyte said. He said in the article that, they was booing him when he was talking about fighting Tyson Fury or Deontay Wilder before me. They were booing that. He was wondering why he got booed. He said Joshua went home and cried. Said, how they gonna boo me? I'm a legend. That's Dillian Whyte talking. So they booed him because of that reason, that he was gonna probably fight either Wilder or Fury before. That's for the people that was talking about there wasn't no booing there. Even if he was there or not, homies, Dillian Whyte heard some boos, and so did Anthony Joshua. There you have it. Get with them, right? So if the boos went down because he's gonna fight someone else, that's his theory. Dillian Whyte's theory, right? So he's thinking that England is basically want him to fight Anthony Joshua, want Anthony Joshua to fight him, and none of these other guys. So there you have it, right? So he's thinking, oh, it's gonna be Jarrell Miller because they avoided me. Everything seems like all of a sudden Anthony Joshua is avoiding Dillian Whyte because he's so dangerous. That will be the narrative. It has to be the narrative in order to sell that fight because of all the things out here. A few people know who was the real King Kong Ortiz. Remember, Deontay Wilder won the poll that Anthony Joshua had who he should fight with 50-something%. Who was second? The other guy that he can't fight now because he's going to fight again. And that would be Tyson Fury. So the guy who got 5% in that poll that he did, worldwide poll, is the guy he's going to fight. So what do you have to do about that fight? You got to build that up like that guy that only got 5%. Anthony Joshua has to be scared of him. He has to be dangerous. He has to. All these things have to happen. You can't tell people that, you know, the story with Louis the Real King Kong Ortiz on December the 1st or December the 22nd. These people possible need to know those things. They need to think Anthony Joshua does not want to fight this guy that bad. That's what they need to know. And you need to remind them of the rubber match that Dillian Whyte beat him before. Also remind them about Dillian Whyte's arm. So in that way, those are the things you're going to need to do to sell that fight. It's not going to just be Anthony Joshua fighting anything. That's going to wear out sooner or later, even in England. So these opponents are going to have to be on the highest level because the profile of the other guys has risen. So when Anthony Joshua's supposed to be fighting someone that's not those guys, you're going to have to raise the profile of those guys starting now. Right? So Dillian Whyte, I think they'll be able to get away with that anyway. They did the best they could. Dillian Whyte did knock out Chisora, and he's in the mix. But I'm not buying he's the most dangerous one. I'm not buying that, right? And I'm not buying that somebody's ignoring him or Anthony Joshua is scared of him all of a sudden. Not buying all that. That's what you're going to need to sell the fight. It's pretty much that simple. And it will be Dillian Whyte on April 13th still. Until then, we'll see if something else happens. But that's what I'm telling you, and that's what I've been telling you. Bam. Doma Sports Talk. Worldwide. And I'm about to hear y'all.